There are places in the galaxy that even the Imperial fears to name. Warp storms, demon wars, cursed sectors lost to madness. But there is one region of space that keeps turning up in the reports of the Inquisition, in half the redacted campaign logs, in the quiet warnings of chapters stationed far from the lights of terror. The Imperial calls it the Ghoul Stars. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the Warhammer 40k's least explained horrors. What the Ghoul Stars actually are, what's crawling out of them, and why entire Space Marine units have marched into the region and never come back. So, what actually are the Ghoul Stars? On an Imperial Galaxy map, the Ghoul Stars lie past the Fortress Stable Imperial sector. It's a region technically within the galaxy, but on the very edge of what the Imperial can reliably reach. As you move towards the Ghoul Stars, Voidfarers and navigators report that travels become increasingly dangerous and strange. The Astronomicons' guiding light is weakened out here, and the Imperial records talk about anomalous warp conditions, dead zones where astropaths go suddenly quiet and currents that twist ships off course. Nothing about this area is well mapped. You don't get good administratum service, instead you get scattered entries like unreliable warp routes, high xenos activity, contact lost with exploratory fleet course unknown. Officially, the Imperial designates the Ghoul Stars as a sparsely explored high-threat region. Unofficially, it's a graveyard of expeditions and crusades. The kind of place Inquisitors warn against poking too hard. The key thing to understand is this: we don't have a clean description. What we have is a pattern of things going to the Ghoul Stars and not coming back. The most infamous example of that is the so-called Ghoul Stars Crusade. At some points in the late 41st millennium, the Orthodox xenos and the High Lords sanctioned a massive campaign into the region. 12 Space Marine chapters were committed. 12. There is an insane amount of force to point at what on a map looks like a backwater cluster of stars. The goal was simple on paper: push into the Ghoul Stars, identify and neutralize emerging xenos threat, and secure whatever wards could be reclaimed for the Imperium. What actually happened is one of the earliest little black box in the 40k lore. We know the Crusades went in. We know they made contact with the hostile Xenos empires. They countered that warranted Astartes' intervention. We know the year passed, battles were fought, wars burned, and then silence. When the Crusade was finally written up, the records were brutally short. Only one chapter is confirmed to have returned: the Nova Marines, and even they came back heavily depleted. The other chapters, their fates are simply listed as unknown, or lost in the Ghoul Stars. No glorious last stand, no detailed campaign history, just gone. That alone tells you how little is this region. The Imperial throws entire chapter at problems all the time, but usually can at least say how they die. Here, they can't. Real quick, if you're into this side of Warhammer, the half-erased crusades, the redacted reports, the stuff the Imperial clearly doesn't want you to look at too closely, this is what I do on the channel. I've already covered things like Lost Primarch and the Emperor Black Ships, and there are a lot more of these deep dive mysteries coming. So if you want more grimdark rabbit holes in your feed every week, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Alright, let's talk about the guardians of this region, and one of the strangest diseases associated with the Ghoul Stars. The Imperium hasn't turned its back to the Ghoul Stars completely. Someone has to watch their frontier. That's where the Spectres come in. The Spectres are a Space Marine chapter with a grim reputation, stationed dangerously close to the Ghoul Stars. Their homeworld, Hudos, lies on the approaches of the region, and they serve as a kind of permanent watch on whatever might spill out. They are known for their harsh traditions and an almost funerary aesthetic, which fits the chapter that spends its days staring into one of the galaxy's darkest corners. So basically their job is to stand between the Imperium and whatever lurks out there. But wait, because the real horror is coming now, as it's not everything about Xenos threat, but also about a disease that is very terrifying. It is called the Pale Wasting. This is one of the clearest horror tied to the Ghoul Stars in canon. The Pale Wasting is a mysterious affliction that has struck worlds in and near the region. Victims don't rot or mutate in the usual Nurgle star way. They just fade. Skin turns translucent, body grows gaunt and colorless, like a person is being drained out of reality. Imperial accounts describe victims becoming ghost-like, their presence dimming in a way that unsettles psychers and machines alike. What's important here is that the pale wasting is strongly associated with the Ghoul Stars, either originating there or spreading out from that direction. It's not categorized as a chaos plug or a tyrannid bioweapon. It sits in that uncomfortable unknown xenos or unknown anomaly category. Medical reports describe patients whose vital signs fluctuate without physical cause. Hearts that seem to miss a beat. Organs that momentarily fail to register on aspects like they slipped half of a centimeter out of the face and then snapped back. Psychers find them deeply unsettling. They feel faint into the warp, like ghosts that haven't quite died yet. On worlds touched by the pale wasting, it's not just bodies that go wrong. Reality itself feels thin. There are accounts of people experiencing missing hours, of machinery logging timestamps that don't line up, of mass hallucination where entire groups swear they saw shapes moving against the sky that left no trace. As always with the Ghoul Stars, the Imperial answer is the same: quarantine, extermination, and then stop asking questions. Okay, so canonically, that's what we know. A cursed region beyond the eastern fringe, warp twisted and poorly mapped. A massive crusade that swallowed 11 chapters. A vigil kept by the dead spectres, and a reality-erasing affliction called the Black Wasting. Beyond that, we are in the realm of theory and fun speculation, and it's important to separate that from the hard lore. Some fans like to imagine that even Tyrannid high fleets avoid the Ghoul Stars, or that there is something even older than Chaos Gods or Necrons. Those are cool ideas, but they are not stated in canon. We don't have an official map line saying, Tyrannid turn away here, and we don't have confirmed ancient pre-Necron entity of the Ghoul Stars. What we do have is a region that the Imperium clearly considers dangerous enough to throw multiple chapters at, lose them, and then go quiet. And honestly, the silence is the part of the horror. In a setting that loves big, bombastic wars and named characters, the Ghoul Stars are terrifying precisely because they are vague. They are a wound on the map, patched over with a few lines of administratum text and a whole lot of implied screaming. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is a war everywhere you look. But out beyond the eastern fringe, in that cluster of dying suns and a half-charted system, there is something else. A place where crusades disappear, where chapters become footnotes, when diseases erase people like bad memories. The Ghoul Stars are not a neatly defined enemy you can point a bolter at. They are an unanswered question that the galaxy keeps trying and failing to solve. So the Imperium posts its watchers, emburs any words that shows the wrong symptoms, and on the most star charts, it quietly pretends that the region doesn't exist. If you want more deep dive mysteries like this, Lost Wars, Erased Primax, and the strangest corners on the Warhammer 40k, make sure you subscribed, and let me know in the comments, what do you think is really hiding in the Ghoul Stars, based on actual lore we have. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.